funny to think that Sanchez-Ruiz has played in the World Masters 4 times. Aranas has only played in it once, and yet their total number of match wins in the World Masters is exactly the same. Well, if the quality of the play to follow Carl is as good as the quality of the lag we've just seen, we're in for a treat. Very little to choose there between them. Julian Roper, the referee, is having a very good look. I think he initially called it for Aranas.
Do it again, please.
Yeah, but he's having another look and asking them to do it again. Because how do you choose between those two? They look absolutely dead level.
Yeah, I think Aranas was giving the impression that he felt like he'd nicked it, but so Julian had a couple of looks and he elected
James Aranas,
relag.
point score.
Wasn't much in that one either. Anyway, definitive in favour of Aranas this time, and so he will start us off. 3 wonderful matches in prospect tonight. This is the first of them. Race to 9 for a place in the quarter-finals.
Didn't make the one ball in that side pocket, but it found its way into the top left. And he does have a shot on the blue too in the side pocket, and if you just look at the 8 ball where it's finished, the 3 ball will go past the 8 ball in this corner, so this is actually not a bad chance. I think that was a large part of his success, because he was getting to the table, and if he weren't having shots on the lowest ball, he was having the push-out option.
Yeah, as you say, wasn't technically the greatest break. It wasn't what he was intending to do, but it was a good outcome. A couple of balls down, gave him a good chance. He's turned that into a very swift run-out. James Aranas already into a 1-0 lead over Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz.
They want to run racks.
Yeah, I think unless it's a much shorter format like race to 5, pretty much everyone agrees this is the best way to do it. And that was certainly not the best way to play that shot. Sanchez-Ruiz arrives for his first shot of the match. And a nice opener.
Okay, bit of a test coming up here for the world number 1.
Yeah, particularly so, having spent nearly all of the match so far in his chair. And the beep's going off to warn him that he only had 5 seconds left. Didn't help either, so that's a fine effort. And it should set him up now to put his first rack on the board.
Yeah, that was an impressive pot, that. Always seems to look easier, especially when these guys are playing their shots, but that would have been a scary one. Stood behind the ball.
Well, you really couldn't ask for quality higher than this for the first 3 racks of a match. James Aranas ran out from the break in the first 2. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz finally got his first visit to the table in rack 3.
To this 2 ball, sometimes you've just got to take what the table gives you. That's all he could do. There you have it. So potting the 2. he's definitely on, but he's getting on that red 3 ball. Looks like the pink and the green 6 are covering them 2 pockets if the cue ball slides over to the left.
If he can find a way of getting on the red 3, be a big favourite for a break and run of his own.
That is beautiful cueing. It really is. Look how well he's controlled it from distance.
How easy did he make this look? When Aranas beat Sanchez-Ruiz at this stage of this event last year, it wasn't a case of pulling off the shock results and going out in the next round. Far from it. He beat Victor Zielinski in a hill finish in the quarter-final and pushed the eventual champion Quoc and He very hard in the semis, only going down 11-9. Went into that tournament ranked number 75 in the world, so it was a very impressive feat, even if that ranking did somewhat understate his ability.
Needs to get a move on, because there's no extension left. What a beautiful safety shot. What a beauty!
Warmly appreciated by the crowd, and you never really know what you're going to get when you come to a new venue that hasn't staged a big event like this before, but it's noticeable that the crowds are steadily building, and reports are that we're going to have wonderful attendances over the weekend. You can't see it in shot, but there's another tier above this with 4 rows of bench seating all around, and understand that's going to be largely full over the weekend. So lots to look forward to.
Well, answers on a postcard. Maybe that's his own little way, his own little style. This is a good safety shot. His back's against the wall. He's won the opening 2 racks here. Been thrown out pretty much ever since. He's been outclassed in the safety department a couple of times. He's played a nice shot there. But he'll be sat in his chair knowing that Ruiz is going to hit this ball. The jump cues, the modern day jump cues, they kind of do the work for you. You really get this cue ball popping up in the air. It kind of frustrates players a lot, really. There you see, so he's guaranteed the hit because it's so easy to jump over the ball. So you often sat in your chair just praying, really. Players much prefer kicking at the ball, coming off a rail or 2. That's the true art. That's what made Efren Reyes the player he is. He's just a genius in that department. Oh, it stayed over the pocket. It was the pace. That was all it was. We've seen them balls slide in the opening couple of days' play.
Beaten by the defending champion Quoc and He.
Okay, he's on the red 3. But how do you get on the pink 4 ball? Can he get into this cue ball? Play the pink 4 in the right centre. There he is, Mr. Al-Qaidi. Won this event 2 times. Fortunately, he won't be winning a 3rd this year. I'll tell you what. You will not see a better positional shot all week. That was fabulous, Michael.
Probably the shot of the match so far. Yeah, Sanchez-Ruiz and Al-Qaidi have been such a unit together on the tour over the years. Or maybe not, Carl.
What a moment, Michael. This is going to stay over the side pocket. He's froze Aranas out the match. Look at the miscue here. Incredible footage there, seeing a super slow-mo on the miscue, because it didn't actually look like, usually on a miscue, Michael, I always feel like they hit the slate, but he hit quite high up on the cue ball there. That was interesting.
And yet, it was probably only about 2 rolls away from dropping into the side pocket. Not sure how Aranas would have taken it if that had happened.
In the zone to me. I know he's had that miscue, but up until that little error, boy, he's played some good stuff. Kicking off the left rail. Got to be careful he don't hit this one ball full in the face, because the cue ball could follow it in the pocket. But he's kicked it in to stay at the table on the blue too. Didn't play the pot. Calm down. If you think he missed, played the cue ball in behind the red 3.
Yeah, and isn't it starting to feel like a very big rack when you consider that Sanchez-Ruiz looked like he was disappearing out of sight only about 10 minutes or so ago. Now this has become a bit of a drawn-out affair. Very high-quality stuff, though. Good tactical play. All of a sudden, Aranas has a chance to get back to only 1 behind. Sanchez-Ruiz tries to nip thoughts of a recovery in the bud. He's really feeling like the biggest moments of the match so far.
So here comes the short stick again. Trying to pop over the edge of the red 3 ball. I just feel like he's trying to get the cue ball over towards the green ball. Well, he tried to make the 9. That was a cheeky effort.
Yeah, a pretty good one. He wasn't that far away from us. Well, looks a bit further away from that angle.
Bit of distance between the cue ball and the 2 ball. He's probably not sure where the 2 ball's going to finish. No, this is smart, Michael. This was smart, because you know what, he's hanging up here. But just look where the 9 ball is there from the overhead. It's not quite over the pocket. He may play this ball, the blue 2, into the rail first. Also, I'm wondering if he's going to try and play some sort of safety shot in mind as well, like play a clever cue ball, like using the 8 ball or the 7. So 2 ball into the rail. Forget the rail, forget the rail.
Well, it's just amazing how quickly things can turn around in this game, and also all the wide variety of ways in which it can happen.
Foul shot.
Oh, but this could turn things back in FSR's direction.
Ball in hand. Please start the clock.
This was a bit clumsy.
This is the part of Ruiz's game that's gone up a notch or two, the safety. Time and time again we've seen him keep putting his opponent in trouble. Serious trouble as well. He may just have to have a swipe at this off the top rail. This could be played with pace. There's a lot of pockets on the table. He's going near the top pocket, you know. He's going near the top pocket. I don't blame him. With only 4 balls left on the table, no real cover on the kick shot. He had to take a gamble.
And now it is, in all probability, going to be level. How unlikely would this have seemed only about a quarter of an hour ago?
And it went in as clean as you like.
I think we could actually hear him there on the replay saying sorry to Sanchez-Ruiz.
Yeah, he's not really sorry though, is he?
Of course not. And he won't be sorry to see this scoreline. All of a sudden, James Aranas is back on level terms with the world champion. He's won 3 racks in a row.
Choke cue ball.
Foul shot.
Well, it's a little bit unlucky, but you got to take the rough with the smooth. The previous rack, he fluked the 6th
Restart the
ball.
clock.
And about 15 minutes ago, Michael, you were sat in his chair right behind the 8-ball miscue. So if you'd have said to him, it'll be 5-all, well, he'd snap your hand off.
In order to keep control of the rack, which he has. How about this? And acknowledging more good fortune.
Well, this is what can happen when you're at the table and you're playing these hooks and you're letting your opponent back at the table. You always feel like they're going to hit the ball out of a kick, and yeah, hoping for a bit of good fortune yourself. He's got to watch the scratch here off the back rail. Oh, that was a good effort. A little bit unlucky the way he hit that ball. And he can't go forward, I don't believe, off 2. Gonna thump this like a stun shot. Yeah, here comes the cue ball. This is good, very good.
So once again, the hardest part is done. Now it's a matter of polishing it off. Ooh, but hold the presses.
Yeah, he played that quite firm. And the problem with playing that firm, if you don't hit the 9-ball full in the face, the cue ball doesn't stop nice on the 8-ball, so it flicked it. You can still pot this. Cue ball will go 4 rails. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's already had one break and run in this match. It came in the 4th rack. Looked for all the world like he was going to have another one in the 8th rack. Now he has in the 14th, and that's the rack which gets him first to the hill at 8-6. James Aranas started the match with consecutive break and runs. But after leading 2-0, he lost the next 5 racks. Looked like he was going to lose a 6th in succession. A miscue on the 8 proved to be a bit of a turning point because it let Aranas in to win that rack. Then he won the next 2 as well to level at 5-all. He again squared it at 6-all. Sanchez-Ruiz has made an impressive dash for the line here. Winning rack 13 was significant, and since then Aranas hasn't got back to the table. The world number 1, the world champion, never won a Masters champion, but maybe this is going to be the year. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz has got his campaign off and running. He's defeated last year's semi-finalist James Aranas by 9 racks to 6, and Sanchez-Ruiz will be back here tomorrow to take on the defending champion Quoc and He.
Would you maybe roll out and make the 9 and leave a similar shot? Maybe closer to the rail, maybe?
Well, he's sizing something up. He's going at the 3 ball. How did he hit it, JJ? How did he hit it the first shot in open play? And he's played a fantastic hook.
Yeah, like a mini drag, kind of like another shot you don't practice very often. That's the toughest thing about our sport. Or other sports are a little more concrete, what you're going to get faced with, but you never know in 9-ball pool. And that 3 came out to the center, the left long rail cut off with the black 8 and green 6, so a difficult kick shot here to start. Can he go the natural 2 rails, or does he have to come to the back side of this off of 4 cushions? Pretty shot if he has to go the 4 cushions, I'll tell you.
Yeah, JJ's alluding to the fact that he might not be able to go 2 rails. Yep, he's going 4 rails, just misses it.
Foul stroke. Ball in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Carl, that hard not to keep up with what's going on with the matches. Very unique Whirlpool Masters with no upsets kind of on paper so far.
Well, this is just the start for Fedor Gorst and Fedor Gorst fans around the world. He has many fans all over.
To get exactly what they want with the cue. This may be a little tacky for some, depending on the technique.
You know, the real pioneer in all these little gadgets and gizmos on the cues and the tips and the fingers is the legend Earl the Pearl Strickland. He's wore shades, he's had finger extensions, weight belts, ankle belts, he's done the lot.
Yeah, I think the one that sticks the most is the, oh, look at this roll. Wow, had to go into the 9, and this has covered up the pink 4, but the long cue, I think that's the one that he really brought around that has stuck with a lot of the players.
Did you see the one recently? I think it was at the Super Billiard Expo. Did you see the picture of the cue he was using there?
It was unreal. It was about, looked like about 7 feet maybe.
Yeah, and the butt of the cue was like a baseball bat, it looked like.
Oh, he's caught this thin. This is going to be Mario's first time at the table. I don't think the cue ball is going to spread that much, so. You'll see that with Fedor at times. We saw it at the Mosconi where he really got down to the beeps quite often. kick does not look that difficult to me off the top cushion. It is gambling, don't get me wrong. But
Fedor, it's your choice.
5 a little more near that cushion. Now from more the center of the table, this kick shot that Mario was kind of sizing up before the push out, very doable. Not much worry on fouling, catching the 7. Really kind of the perfect angle to really stick the cue ball. It looks like straight draw to me, maybe. You'll see a little white dust on the chin of Fedor Gorst. We used to use the powder to we used to use the powder for the. Now he's in the center, but Fedor's a little different. He aims center and then drops the tip down low like that. So he'll fool you with his tip position at times.
Class kick and stick there. Now Mario's in, well, it's in a world of trouble here.
Yeah, he may really go airborne here, since you have to get it up quickly. The 3 you can actually carry a little more. It's a little more difficult when you have the first ball a little bit further away, I think, to control, not knocking the ball off the table or something like that.
Oh, that looked good on the white.
Okay, he's one of the best bankers in the world. He's won the Derby City Classic Banks division a couple times already. Does he cut this in or just play for the bank? A little easier on the cue ball. I think he shoved the cue ball forward because he was worried about getting elevated maybe over the 7 a bit, maybe even the 8, because he's made the 4 a little more tricky. That's just part of pool. You have to make difficult shots.
Little bit of elevation, striking down on the cue ball. Well, JJ, how well did he time that one?
Yeah, it's not a shot again that comes up very often. The drag shot, of course, is a heck of a tool on the slick table, in my opinion, but
Mario, He to break. Scores are tied, 3 racks. Foul.
Well, I can only presume the 9 balls got kicked. It went that fast, I could hardly see it.
Please start the clock.
yeah, it was 2 kisses, the one we're used to, into the 9, but was it the brown 7 that came and smacked the cue ball right in the face?
There'll be no real drama from the 8 ball to the 9. It'll be just some sort of little stun shot.
I like playing 8 for the corner here myself. A lot of players like to track towards the short shot, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but you just have to command the speed. Very natural just to come down the table, especially with the 9 so handy. It makes a big difference to me, but of course always a little preference. May stun forward a couple inches, could just stop the cue ball. I would think, though, he's so good at the stun shot, he's not going to fear that much.
was having a good look at the line of this one. Not really sure why JJ is right behind it.
Just the routine, Carl. That's the routine. Well, he may draw the cue ball here if he's dead straight back behind him and kind of whip it 2 rails between the black 8 and 9. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he looks very straight, JJ, doesn't he? Look at the spin. You could see the English. That's why we have dots on the cue ball. Couldn't put this better with your hand. Nicely struck there. Watch the cue ball as it comes back. You can see the spots turning over. That's the left English. That helps the cue ball spin off the 2 rails over for the green 6.
Yeah, best stroke of the match, really. He's made some nice ones already.
It's a real classy shot to get on the green 6.
Well, the mentality as well, you got to like that, not really backing down. Didn't want to take the green 6 down the side rail, so.
Fedor Gorst is starting to give us the impression that he's kicked on a little bit here because he was 3-2 down in this first round match. He's won the last 3. He leads 6-3.
The cue ball near the blue 2 is going to be a 2-9 combination. It's not set up badly for right after the break, and the 9 some diamond away. The lower left corner.
Well, he'll be having a go at this one. The distance, though.
Yeah, it's the type of shot that sometimes you can kind of overthink it and say, oh, let me try and move the cue ball. I like him just rolling this in and not dead rolling it, but just a high ball and just have the confidence that you're making it. Wouldn't want to take away anything. Draw stroke's okay, but just not a lot of speed.
Extension cool.
Just trying to pick a point in the distance or on the pocket. Obviously, players are so used to just potting the ball, that comes natural, but these can be weird little shots. It's right in the heart of the pocket. He drew the cue ball back as well. But it's Fedor Gorst who is on the hill.
Is it the kind of angle, Carl, that it's hard to get around the black 8, you know, on the slick table?
Yeah, I think it is. He might just take a gamble and kind of stun the cue ball around and maybe go towards the balls.
Yeah, Carl's saying towards the pink 4 and purple 5. Yeah, did contact that 8, but he would have taken it from there. So Mario's got a chance. Got to come with a tough one here on the red 3, though. I think he wants to go offensive, so we'll see.
The green 6 ball doesn't look to be in a bad position as well, but I know what you mean. He'd like to fire at this one in the top left, try and get something going. You've got to try and keep Fedor in his chair rather for 3 or 4 racks would be nice.
That's a big shot to get yourself going, though. I mean, if you can bury it, get out here again. He's broke the balls early as well as Fedor did, but just neither came away with a shot. Surprised he played it with a high ball, though. I thought he would draw the cue ball a bit more, and now he's left a kiss shot possibly to end this match.
Yeah, this is what we call a carom or a kiss shot.
Extension call.
It's where the cue ball hits a ball, and then the cue ball pots another ball. So in this instance, he's going to play off the right-hand side of the red 3, pot the 9, win the rack. As long as you hit the lowest ball first, anything goes.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see. It looks like the 9's passed, so if he makes it very hard to follow this in, outside chance, but may have to put a little speed on this, though, to try and get a little more ricochet effect off the 3. You can see him elevating the cue, so he wants a little bounce.
It's the carom for the match, and there it is. Fedor Gorst from 3-2 down with 7 racks on the spin to book a place in the quarterfinals where he will play Albin Ocean.
Play from above the side pocket. Not getting very close to the 5.
Well, whatever way we saw things going there, that wasn't high on the list.
Yeah, and maybe trying to get a little more out of the cue ball than I anticipated anyways. Thought he would slow roll that in and just stay by that right middle side. You wonder why so short, but it's always odd coming from the center of the table when a ball's hanging, especially on the slick table. This lay's okay to come 2 rails at the 6 or maybe in that window between the 9 and the brown 7. He is a shot maker. This looks to be perfect.
Yeah, I expect to take a 1-0 lead from here. I was saying earlier that he doesn't seem to be fazed by any situation, no matter who he's playing, what the setting is. Out there in a single table environment, he looks perfectly comfortable right from the start. And he leads Shane Van Boening 1-0 in the last match of our first round. Something we have to talk about, Jeremy, is your return to competition. Next week you're playing in the ranking event in Scotland. So what was it that inspired you to have...
I'll tell you, night and day from the opening break, these last 2. Now he's going to have to come with a long one, but he will attack, I believe, on the blue 2. Kind of lays natural, even though it's difficult to come down for the red 3. Yeah, I thought it was something special, Michael. I mean, there were 2,500 people in the stands, 2,300, something like that. Another 500 or 600 outside waiting on autographs and pictures, and just a moment to kind of rub elbows with these great players. And there was so much respect as well. It was just really incredible. It keeps it natural here. I think he kind of comes 2 rails at the 3-5 that are jammed up on the bottom cushion. Like I said, he's a shot maker, Michael. So he definitely wants the 3 to carry up the table a bit off the left side of the brown 7. He's overhit this.
Does he look a bit edgy to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you and I talked about it. I could kind of see it getting a little red from some distance sitting in his chair, especially, Hoang making some incredible shots and really maybe stewing over that one mistake on the red 3 in game number 1. Oh, he's going to get a fluke here. That's not going to help things as far as SVB is concerned.
And look where the cue ball was finished in terms of position on the 4.
Yeah, and I tell you, I mean, SVB's worked on his mental. You know, after making a mistake, he can kind of hold on to it sometimes. But, you know, he said it in the interview a little bit. Sometimes, you know, there's a certain player that just kind of runs good against you. And he's beat him the last couple times. And this could kind of get a little mental, even for the great Shane Van Boening. All right, a little tricky here. It's not the shot you want, a dead slow roll. If he tries to come across, he's going to have to play the 7 from a bit of distance. Less angle than I thought. I thought it was a little heavier. Nice touch there on the cue ball.
Well, he'd be the first to acknowledge he's had quite a bit of fortune in this match, but he's also played very, very well. Overall, you could make a case that it's as well as we've seen anyone start a match. And Elliot Sanderson. It must be such a thrill for them to be coming here to watch one of their own in a sporting event in the country that they've moved to, if indeed they are all now based in Germany, as you were indicating earlier. Because as we were saying, there aren't many Vietnamese people competing at a high level in any sport on the world stage.
Well, the things that are doing,
one to break, leading by 4-0.
The things they're doing as far as the pool rooms and promoting the game back home, of course, a World Nineball Tour event, one of the majors as well. Gotta believe with that much interest and that many people, it's just a numbers game. Uh-oh, that's the one that can turn things around. Ball in hand, for some reason, can make you not so stressed.
Ball in hand. Please start the clock.
A lot of times Shane doesn't like to float this with the draw. A lot of times he'll come back above the side off the second cushion like that and take a little more distance on the 8.
So for now at least, the early momentum of Duong Quoc Hoang has been halted. Came to an end with that scratch off the break. Shane Van Boening did the rest. He's opened his account. Duong's lead trimmed just slightly to 4-1. But it was a lot worse not so long ago. He was 4-0 down, but has capitalised on ball in hand in both of the last 2 racks. He's capitalised there on some very good fortune. A golden break for Shane Van Boening. It's the second one we've seen in this tournament, the first from him, and it's a very different match all of a sudden, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. And does anyone get more golden breaks than SVB? I know Lechner did something special last year at the Whirlpool Masters.
Yeah, Lechner had 4 in one match in this tournament last year.
But I think it's hitting a high ball here, so maybe it does. Otherwise, he's chipping this, trying to play a safety. Okay. Oh, huge miss here. You could see just a hair of a hiccup in the swing, and probably didn't have the entire pocket, but definitely missed his mark. And now we're going to see Hoang back at the table.
Fine outcome.
This kind of got nasty from nowhere. Couldn't put a lot of speed. That may have opened up the cue ball for that scratch we were talking about. that's a big sign of confidence there, putting a lot of speed on that 8, cueing near the rail.
Extension call.
Well, there was an unexpected miss. The ball to the corner in the opening rack that let Duong in to win that, and he went on from there to build a 4-0 lead. Van Boening missing from a bit further out, but still unexpected, into another corner pocket at the other end of the table, has proved decisive in this rack. There was still plenty for Duong Quoc to do there, but he's done it all, and he's got a bit of daylight again. It's 5-3.
So he's going to aim away using some right side spin. That way the 2 doesn't go towards the 8, may go towards the left middle a bit, and that's a good look. He could make this, but I guess the cueing over the red 3 was really hampering and made him go a little otherwise on the blue 2. We're going to see SVB attack here.
Extension called.
And this is not easy unless he wants to play this with some side spin, that being left or right. But a straight high ball, he overcuts it to the pocket a little bit. Watch out for the scratch. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. He's going to get the 9 instead.
Hang on.
Shane Van Boening.
It's another quick finish, and Shane Van Boening has now won 4 of the last 5 racks.
Anytime the ball stands up a little bit when you hit it so well, that means the angle was pretty tough. Watch out on the draw stroke. Come back for the combo. Be on the rail. Now if the 9's frozen, this is no hanger. Now if it's a little off, pretty easy combination for Shane.
Oh, how about? Oh, and just when it looked as though Shane Van Boening lead for the first time, another twist.
Yeah, and I think it's somewhat similar to a combination that FSR shot earlier today where a ball went in. The second ball went in unexpectedly, and I don't think there was any concern on the cue ball there from Shane, and I didn't really see it either.
Back to the head shaking of earlier. Well, there was still a little bit of doubt about the outcome of this rack. And Duong landed the way he did on the 8. He was always fancied to get it sorted, get back in prime position for the 9. And with that 9, he regains the lead at 6-5 in extraordinary circumstances. Hoang had tactical control over the rack early on, having had the break, but swung the other way now. He's the one with some figuring out to do.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy 2-rail hit here. Needs a little spin. Is he going 1 cushion? Wow.
Well, fair to say he's wrested back the initiative now. Not the first time tonight that red 3 has been his nemesis. It's where all his trouble started, really. early on in the match. This one was a much more difficult shot. Win 4 racks in a row.
And I'll tell you, you know he's nervous, but you got to be impressed how he still swings the cue. A lot of players, myself included, probably would have cinched the 4 a little bit, just getting the cue ball off the rail, maybe 3 or 4 inches. He really unleashed the stroke there and got the cue ball out. Whew, about almost 2 diamonds.
Hoang, the only debutant in the field, seen as the rank outsider of the field. He was a big outsider even to win this match, but now he very well might, because he's first to the hill. He leads Shane van Boening, the former world champion, by 8 racks to 5. You can get yourself into that frame of mind, and if you manage to do that, it's got to help.
He tried to go rail first. Now he's going to dislodge this 3-9 a little bit and make it kind of nasty with the brown 7 on top of the 9. But SVB doesn't mind that at all. At least he's at the table. You would say that wasn't as much of a miss as you would think. It was all about trying to create movement of the cue ball. So he played rail first with draw spin, the easiest task at times. Boy, this is touchy. Shane's just a master of the slick table, though. I mean, he understands how it's going to react. Got a little thinner here than he wanted, but a lot of players would try to hit that thin and try and ease the ball down. And like I said before, self included, he just understands.
So Shane van Boening will battle on.
Shane van Boening
Still needs to win another 3.
So he'll go forward. That way he doesn't have to play the purple 5 and worry about the 7, the brown 7 that's near it. Should be 2 cushions. Wow. Maybe that pocket remembers that scratch on the combination.
Yeah, thinking exactly the same thing. Fell in a similar way, didn't it? Just paused for a moment, and then toppled over.
Wants to draw this past the side, get below, yeah. Uh-oh. Did he lose it? Yes, he did.
Foul shots.
Yeah. And that shot, he just didn't really dial in on the line of the cue ball. I mean, it's almost like as soon as he hit it, I was pretty sure it was going to be close to that corner. What a turn of events, Michael.
Yeah, he'd done so much good work there to put himself in that position, to pop the few remaining balls he needed for one of the best wins of his life. And then that happens.
Yeah, and he didn't overhit the ball. He wanted to put the speed to come underneath and play off the bottom cushion. He just didn't really dial in the line of the cue ball. That was the real kind of mishap.
Doesn't seem that long ago that Shane van Boning's only route through to the quarterfinals was to win the last 4 racks. He's now completed 3/4 of that task, and just as they did in the World Championship last year, they're going the distance.
say he's got a hanger by any means, but you could see he wanted to play the pink in the lower left. So maybe a bit of nerves here at Hill. Why wouldn't there be?
Well, he may live to regret that for a very long time.
Yeah, it just wasn't the clean delivery he's had most of the match. Friendly double kiss on the purple into the green 6. Gonna have to play into the 6 again. Most likely going to have to play the 6 down the rail, past the side, unless he wants to put some speed and open the cue ball up away from the 6. I thought it would be something light. Is he banking this across the 6 like that, trying to get a little bit more off the rail? I tell you, he wants to play it in the lower left. No, he does, but the angle proper. Can he float it to get by the 8, or does he have to come 2 rails underneath the 7? Yeah, nice shot. He actually went between them.
Hoang getting that sinking feeling. He's contributed so much to a really memorable match. A match in which he led 4-0 at one stage, and later 8-5. But with so many blockbuster names already through to the quarterfinals, Shane van Boening did not want to miss out on the party. And he's here for the weekend. Shane van Boening, the former world champion who was dethroned from that crown by Quoc, has beaten the man from Vietnam, this time by winning the last 4 racks. He goes through 9-8. Now it's Jason Shaw on what should be a memorable quarter-final Saturday here in Hildesheim. Well, what a reaction that was from him at the end. Keeps his emotions in check generally during matches, but when the big moments arrive, he's pulled off the big wins. He's not afraid to show what it means to him, and very happy to sign all the autographs he's asked for now. So disappointing for Quoc. He played so well at times, but Shane van Boening really pulled it out so impressively. That last rack could have been over right at the start of it. Van Boening had to battle on, and he did.